Welcome and thank you very much for joining Pon the Politique on this wonderful Sunday. I think it's the last Sunday of the month of January. Umtungo uyengwayo umalingi, Undima Kankumbuzo welcomes you once again into another live episode of Pon the Politique. And thank you very much for joining us today. And we welcome everybody who is watching with us, whichever platform that they are using. If you are new into this platform, make sure that you subscribe into our YouTube channel to bring about a large number of community. It is on YouTube at Pont de Politique. If you love the Twitter streets, we are also available on the Twitter streets, the same name, Pont de Politique. Facebook, same thing at Pont de Politique. And if you're watching there already on Facebook, make sure that you share the video and you share the conversation and send it through your comments as well. On Instagram, we are available, same as on TikTok. So, igama lami ndinguthando lwethu kaDlanga, umntungo uyengwayo malingi, Undima Kankumbuzo. Once again, Upon the Politique yinkqubo edlala every Sunday at 6 o'clock, if there is no blackout, every Sunday at 6 o'clock. And our intention and our idea is to interrogate the issues that relates to the politics of our country in different formats without specifically being the mouthpiece of a specific political organization. The idea is to give a broader understanding of the politics of the day. And the unfortunate thing in what we have seen over the years in the mainstream media is that the mainstream media tends to shy away from certain conversations. Even if they do speak about those conversations, they would speak on those conversations on a specific direction where they want to influence a specific direction. Probably we are doing the same, but we are hoping that we can allow the people of this country of South Africa and Africa, including the world, to have a greater understanding of the politics of the day. Sometimes we tend to do conversations that are more academical. Sometimes we do conversations that are not strictly academical. And sometimes we do conversations that are political party aligned. But nonetheless, the idea is to ensure that the majority of people have a greater understanding of the politics of the day. So thank you, and I appreciate your presence. As we are going to be conversing today with our guest, I would like you to send your comments, your questions, and your inputs, whatever you want to say as we are conversing, so that the conversation can be an interactive one. What is nice is that we are not in an interview. Pon the Politique does not do interviews. Pon the Politique does conversations so that they can influence a particular perspective. So if you just joined us, make sure that you tell your other friends, your other family members, and everybody else to be part and parcel of this conversation. Today, we are going to be having a guest who is an author and a public speaker in our platform. Igama lakhe nguZonwabele uBlackie Tshayana. Blackie has written extensively on he has written books, and he is an author, he's a speaker, voiceover artist, and also he's not afraid to speak his mind about a lot of things. So today, specifically, we are going to be looking at the issues that relate to the Enoch Mgijima local municipality, which is under the district of Chris Hani district municipality. But also we are going to link these elements to the public service delivery protest that has been taking place right across, especially in the Eastern Cape. We're talking about loadshedding, we're talking about water shedding, and we're talking about other aspects as well. Before we can go anywhere, I just want to give you an outlook of what is Enoch Mgijima Municipality. Enoch Mgijima Municipality is consisting of about a number, I think about 245,975 people. The population that was done in 2011, it gives us about 246,000 people who are there in the Enoch Mgijima Municipality. And this local municipality was amalgamated in 2016 after the August 2016 local government elections, where there was an emerging between the Tshayana municipality, the Inkwanca municipality, and Lukanji local municipality. So there was an emerging of 3 local municipalities. And it is a seat that is sitting in Komanis, precisely, in the Eastern Cape. The mayor of Enoch Mgijima local municipality is Madoda Papiane of the ANC. The speaker is Bongiwe Gladness van Heerden, also of the ANC. And the chief whip in government is also Nombuyiselo Selkandlebe, also of the ANC. Now, in the 2021 November elections, the ANC had gotten about 33,057 wards, votes in wards, and 34,667. So in total, the African National Congress got about 67,733 number of votes, meaning that they achieved about 62.2%. And they are in charge of 32 wards, and they are in charge of about 12 PR seats, and therefore that gives them about 44 members of parliament. The Democratic Alliance follows after that with about 5.9%, close to 6%, and they've got 1 ward and 1 PR seats at 6, which gives them about 7. We've got the EFF, the Economic Freedom Fighters, which gotten about close to 4,000, which is 3,997. And then you've got the Independents. They call there's a party there, it's called Independence. It got about 3,033. Then there is independent candidates. It got about 5,521. So in total, the total number of people who turned out to go and vote in that particular municipality were 56,144. But the people who had registered to vote were 118,000, which gave them a turnout of below 50%. So the people who voted in that local municipality were less than 50%. It's about 47.3%. So remember I had said 245,000 as according to the census of 2011, 245,000. The people who were eligible to vote or who were registered to vote, were 118,637. The only number of people who went to actually go and vote were 56,000, making it about 47.3% of the number of people who went to vote. So I'm giving this background because I want you to have an understanding of the type of municipality that we are talking about. So we are going to be having our guest today, this evening, Zola Tshayana. Blackie, Black man, unjani?
Ndikumqabaqaba Vinegar Titos mthakwetu unjani wena?
Ndiyabulela mani nami ndiyaphila akho nto sibona nje izinto sihlala kude sisemazweni, but we are always interested about the day-to-day happenings that are taking place emakwethu. So I thought it was important that we have this conversation. But ndiyabulela kakhulu, can you just say hi to our viewers? I know that you've got a large number of people who follow you on the various platforms of social media. It's up to you. Baxelele ngubani uzonwabele uBlackie kaTshayana.
Thanks, Mtungwa. First, I think I must apologize to the people that are watching for being in a car. This is the new normal. We are having offices in our cars because of load shedding, because of network shedding. We experience a lot of network outages that others are saying are linked to load shedding. So one has to move around and drive around just to find network. With that said, Uzonwabele, I was born in Ngobo in the Eastern Cape. And I moved to Queenstown in 1996. Stayed in Queenstown full time up until, or not full time, but I called Queenstown home from 1996 up until 2013 when I left for Gauteng. So basically, Queenstown for me is one of the places where I was shaped. It's one of the places where I spent a huge chunk of my youth, and it's where I would say politically I found grounding. Uzonwabele is an author, as you have said. I have written 3 books, and the third book, or the first one, was released in 2018, titled "The Things We Do," which is a novel. And then the second book, another novel again, was released in 2019, titled "Broken." The third book was released on the 30th of October, of November, 2022. Yona, it's a collection of isiXhosa short stories. It's titled Kulo Matafa seDamasco. Baninzi ngabantu that are asking questions about Kulo Matafa seDamasco, whether it's Amatafa seDamasco that are in the Bible, or it's Damasco, the one that is in Butterworth, between the campus Yase Butterworth. But I always say Kulo Matafa seDamasco is anywhere where you want it to be. It can be in your room, it can be in your house, it can be in your workspace. Yeah. So yes, I am an author. I am a public speaker. I've been in the NGO space, in the civil society space for more than 20 years. Within the human rights space, basically. So yes, people call me a human rights activist. And others call me a social commentator. But I always refer to myself as Unolali Wasengcobo Eqhaga Phantsi Kwentaba, because that's who I am. Before everything else, I am a bona fide resident of the Chris Hani Municipality, and I have what I come from Queenstown. I grew up in Queenstown. Basically, I spent more than 10 years of my life in Queenstown. So I used to call Queenstown home. Yes, thank you.
So basically, the reason why I wanted you to bring these things up is to, sometimes people tend to ask the questions of who is he or who is she to speak on these issues. So sizama ukuthatha formalities sizibeke on the side, so that kungabikho umuntu ozawuthi kubani yena, who is this person who wants to speak on these issues. So now that we have clarified that, I want to make sure that colleagues, viewers, friends, comrades, whatever you call yourself, make sure that you do interact with us. We are interested in your views. As you have seen, Blackie, that there's somebody who says they are listening from Queenstown. I say Kokoti Queenstown, Ikomani. Queenstown is a New Zealand. So I say Queenstown, I1, Queenstown in the world is a New Zealand. Lego kuthiwa Queenstown, Ikomani. I say Queenstown. So we need also to speak about those things. So Zola, over the past week, we have had some very concerning issues relating to the Enoch Mgijima Municipality under the Chris Hani district, and you have made an outcry as well. Firstly, I think 2 weeks ago you sent a status update citing the newly elected mayor Umadoda Papiane, who was elected in December. So he's probably only now a month and a few days in the seat. You cited him and said, now that you have been elected, I hope that you are going to do things better and you improve the town, because the town is at the center of what makes Western Cape, Gauteng, and whatever the case might be. And after you have said that, 2 weeks later, there's a serious outburst, service delivery protest about load shedding, water shedding, Ekomani, and everything else. Now, what prompted you to write those Facebook statuses? Because there were many and they were scathing. What prompted you to actually speak about those issues?
Thanks so much, Dungo. The first update that I wrote, which was talking about the lights and the potholes in Queenstown, 2 weeks prior, were prompted by my knowledge of what Queenstown used to be. As I said, I arrived in Queenstown in 1996, just at the dawn of democracy. We found Queenstown as a very beautiful town, with a huge potential for development. As someone who has stayed in Queenstown and seen the beauty of Queenstown and experienced the beauty of Queenstown, up until I would say the mid to late 2000s, when Queenstown started, or Komani started to deteriorate into what it is today. It pained me that this used to be a town we would be so keen to travel to when we're coming from Engcobo, to go and shop in Queenstown, or when people are coming from Lady Frey, from Dordrecht, from Indwe, from Whittlesea, you name all these smaller towns surrounding Queenstown. At some stage, I remember there were talks of more developments, even talks of an airport in Queenstown, because Queenstown is a center, and besides it being the seat of Chris Hani District Municipality, it is also a center that it can be developed for me. Queenstown represents a home, but also it represents an economic hub that is waiting to be developed, that is waiting to be tapped into. So the first status was about that. The subsequent statuses that I wrote on Facebook were basically in response to what I saw, which also pained me, happening in Queenstown, people marching for service delivery. Yes, I have friends in Queenstown. I have family that stays in Queenstown that still call Queenstown home. So I was directly affected by their cries. When some were saying we are struggling, there's issues of electricity that is not there for days, if not weeks. There's issues of water that is not there. There's potholes. The town is dirty, and we were not so far ago. We were discussing the issue of the 15 million rand stadium in Lesotho and Ndlovkas. There's been so many things that are happening in Queenstown, and the fires that have been raging, burning of the city hall, burning of offices, municipal offices. There's been a lot that is destroying Queenstown or Ekomani, as we used to know it. So when I saw the marchers, multitudes of people that were going to say we have a problem, we need to be listened to. And what pained me, or what drove me to write the scathing updates, was seeing the executive mayor of Queenstown singing at the back of a buggy, branded with his party political organization, and people behind him singing "Singani Beta Stand." That to me, Mtungwa, was uncalled for and unprofessional. And I even said it on my updates that the conduct of the mayor. I'm not saying the conduct of Madoda Papiana as a person, but I'm saying the conduct of the mayor, the executive mayor of Enoch Mgijima local municipality, dancing to Igwijo that says "Singani Beta Stand," when people that the mayor is leading are marching. It doesn't matter, because what has been the issue in Queenstown or in Komani from some within the governing party was that the strike was illegitimate.
I see.
Unfortunately, even though we don't stay in Queenstown, we have people that stay in Queenstown that we talk to regularly. Not because we have interest in Queenstown, but because these are family members and friends. So the strike, the planning of the strike was not illegitimate. It was genuine. The strike was planned for a very long time to protest the lack of service delivery to people of Queenstown.
Mm.
The march, in fact, that march was long overdue. Dumba.
I think so
I
too.
want us I want us to look, I want us to look back. You see, when we inherited Queenstown as the black government, it was Queenstown under Stormberg City Council or whatever it
City
was called
Council,
back then.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
and it was designed to actually cater for a specific minority. Now, the black government of the day inherited. Yo, this
I'm
is
sorry.
disturbing. That
There is a very
there's a
disturbing.
yes,
Yeah,
it's very yeah,
something very disturbing
it's disturbing
information here. Yeah, and
that the government building is burning as we
is
speak
burning
right now,
now. You see,
and
and this is painful. Yes, yeah.
it's painful. And the question is, does Enoch Mgijima and Krisani have firefighting equipment to go and take care of that? Do they have the finances, the muscle to take care of that fire?
If we're not Blackie, if they had the city hall would have not burned to the ground.
Exactly,
It probably this building as well is going to burn to the
exactly.
ground. That is the
And
unfortunate
and
thing.
and it's painful because every building that is burning down, whoever is burning it, whether it's going to be blamed on the marchers or it's going to be blamed on whoever, but the fact remains, every building that burns down means the burning down of the rates and taxes of the people of South
Of the
Africa right
people,
now.
yes, yes, yeah.
So now, as I was saying, this is disturbing, really. As I was saying, um, the government it inherited this town called Queenstown at that time, and from there were issues. You see,
Very.
the politics of Queenstown are very complex. They are
Mm,
similar to the politics of East London.
okay.
All these towns that you find the convergence of people from different governance structures previously. Why am I saying this? When we arrived in 1996, we would find inscriptions on walls insulting Transkei, people from the former Transkei. So there's
Mm,
been issues generally on the coexistence of people that used to stay or that are from the former Transkei with people that were born in Queenstown and who are from Missiskai. Now you have inherited this town, and now people from the former Transkei are coming and working in this very same town. I will tell you why I'm saying this.
yes.
Now, further down, um, the leadership of Krisani and politically also was occupied by okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was occupied by people from the former Transkei. Ne? Now, whilst people of Komani are saying, because these are conversations that they were having, that
Mm,
all of a sudden we are not good enough to govern and lead in our own town, which we were from where we were born. People from
yes.
various other areas, especially the former Transkei, are leading in our town. Now, that was an issue. Again, you come back, you look at the redemarcation of the municipalities. You look at the merger of three rural facilities without revenue. You had at some point you had Ikomani. Komani has some revenue in terms of rates and taxes being collected from people that stay in Madeira, Kings Park, Top Town, Blue Rise, Westbourne, Southbourne, Komani Park, and all these areas that are seen as being better in terms of infrastructure. That's where basically the rates, the bulk of the rates of Queenstown came from. Now, the very same people that the bulk of the rates came from were not receiving, whilst it was still Lukanje local municipality, were not receiving any value for the rates that they were paying, because the potholes were there even at that time. Water issues were there even at that time. Yes, we didn't have major issues with electricity then, but there were issues in terms of the delivery of basic services.
Correct.
Now this the small base of ratepayers, because you have Esbeleni, you have Mlungisi, you have the whole area of RTP houses that is also dependent on these rates that were being paid by a select few people.
A small number of people, yes.
Yes. Now, the municipality didn't have much revenue and was reliant on the grants from various institutions. Now, you take that municipality, you burden it with two other municipalities that have no revenue.
From the rural areas.
That have no revenue at all. Because if you go to Stekstrom, you go to Molteno, there's no revenue for the municipality there. The municipality has to rely basically on grants that it receives to run those towns. If you go to Inkwanka, Takastad and surroundings, there's no revenue there. Now, you are saying the small base of revenue payers must now take care of a wider range of
the population.
And the infrastructure that is there, it was never designed to take care of so many people. Now you have this issue, and you have the people of Queenstown saying there is a problem. One, in terms of leadership, we are not being considered. We are being overlooked. That's number one. Number two, in terms of services, when we are still trying to find our footing, we are now being burdened by two other municipalities.
Yes. Okay. I see.
Now you have the current mayor inheriting such a mess, né? And I want to give him the benefit of doubt here.
I want us to do that as well. Yes. That's why I was saying earlier. That's why I was saying earlier. We are fake.
Yes, he inherited a mess already. Yes, people are going to say he's from the very same organization that has been governing Enoch Mgijima Municipality. But I am saying he inherited a mess. Now, this thing has been boiling. It has been boiling and ready to burst at any given time.
Correct.
Then load shedding hits, people are angry. Service delivery protests have been flaring all over the country. People are angry. There's unemployment.
There was a period when there was what was zero? What the water crisis of something's day zero.
Day zero, yes.
It's been day zero from Komani right up. The local municipality has been day zero for years.
It's been years. Now, this has been boiling for a very long time, and it was never managed either by the political leaders or community leaders of Komani. Now, out of all this, yes, there will be issues. There will be issues of people that will be now coming in to influence or to try and ride on the wave of legitimate strikes.
Yeah, which is opportunistic people.
Yes. So what the so-called business people that are purported to have said or to have paid people to go to march against the municipality, or the people that are said, also note, people that are said to be disgruntled because they lost in the previous political whatever issues.
Yes.
Now, if those people they were given an opportunity to influence legitimate issues of the residents of Queenstown. Now, again, those people, they then used, if there's no proof,
if that is the case,
but again, if that is the case,
yeah,
they
if that is the
used
case.
they used money because people of Komani are hungry, they are unemployed, so they used money for their own reasons. Ne? Now I'm saying in my status, the conduct of the mayor, because my expectation was the mayor, when you are having people marching against your institution that you are leading, the mayor should have said, okay, people are coming to me as the mayor, not to me as a leader of a certain political organization. Now, when these people come to me as a mayor, they expect me to treat them like I would treat any other resident of Komani.
Because I am the
leading.
#1 resident.
I'm the #1 citizen of Komani, yes. Now, secondly, the expectation would be the mayor would then address these people. Yes, they're saying they had meetings with them. Fine, you had meetings with their leadership. But here is a number of people, a mass movement of people coming to you. And the least that you can do is to say, okay, I'm here. What is it that you want? When people come to you and they then explain to you what they want, you listen to what they to their issues, you listen to their challenges, and you say, okay, challenge number one, the issue of electricity, because I've seen videos of the mayor explaining things that had happened. Another thing when I'm doing just a day or two before the strike, there was a mischievous post where they cropped the live interview Mayor Esevukani FM. They mischievously cut that video between the 45th and the 48th minute, where he was saying potholes are Queenstown, the figures as potholes. And they stopped it when he said Ngubani ke ngoko zawulungisa potholes. They stopped there. I remember when I found the actual video of the whole video of that interview, I shared it on my wall, and I said what people are doing is to deliberately tarnish the name of the mayor, because they took that portion which was serving their needs, that the mayor doesn't care about the people. Now, I shared the overall, I listened to the overall interview, and beyond that, Ngubani ke uzawulungisa, the mayor said, I am committing myself to fixing these potholes, which was a good step.
Yes.
Fine. And he promised that contractors will be on the ground doing their work.
So,
yes,
like he was being a leader.
He was being a leader.
He was
commendable.
Commendable at the time.
It was commendable what he did. Now he goes and messes that up with one thing. Dancing at the back. Dancing at the back of a buggy. Dancing at the back of a buggy. You see, Tando, we need to differentiate. You see, one of the reasons people don't differentiate between the party and the state is that we have our own leaders acting in a way that is indifferent to the separation of the two institutes.
Okay.
We need leaders that say, when I'm serving the people, yes, I've got a mandate from my political organization. But the moment I leave my political organization office and I get to a public office, whether as an MPL or as a councillor or as a member of parliament or as a minister or whoever, when I get there, my role changes from that of being a party political representative. I become a public office bearer. And therefore, my conduct should at all times emulate the status of the office that I am occupying. You see, you cannot have a mayor dancing at the back of a buggy to a song that says Singani Beta Standa. And he's raising his fist. He is raising his fist in agreement to Singani Beta Standa. And that person is leading the masses that are complaining in front of him, saying we.
I think there is a slight challenge there of the internet and the internet connection. As you can see, immediately when Blackie comes in and returns, we will then proceed with our conversation. As you have seen, what he was trying to do, he was trying to give us an outlook of what has been happening. But now we're going to be zooming in some of the things. But he's back. Blackie, you're back. You disconnected a little bit.
Yeah,
he's raising fists. Exactly.
Exactly. That's what he was saying in that. And I condemned it right there on the video that I saw, because I believe that as citizens, it is our duty to condemn wrongdoing. It is our duty to commend good works and good deeds, irrespective of who the person is.
Yeah.
Now,
Blackie, because you've given the viewers the outlook. Why did you say? Why did you do what you do? And what is your position against Mayor Papian? You don't have a problem with Umadoda Papian as a person, the deputy secretary of the region. It's neither here nor there. He can do whatever that he wants. But when he availed himself to become a public servant, he then said, okay, I am a public servant. I'm willing to lead everybody. Now, I want us to be deliberate. Ikomani, Inkwanka, and all these other municipalities, the entirety of them, which includes excuse me, which includes Itsolwana and all else. They are under the leadership, or they're under the district of Chris Hani. Chris Hani, who is seen by the Communist Party of South Africa, or South African Communist Party, as the embodiment of morality, as embodiment of leadership. And then a local municipality is under Enoch Mgijima, a character that is very close to my heart, who is also an embodiment of morality, liberation, and progress against colonialism and imperialism. So these are the two characters that these municipalities are located under. Uti Upapiane and his crew in the ANC, the protests that are taking place in Komani cannot be separated from the protests of the Democratic Alliance that were taking place at Luthuli House. Utini on that issue. I want you to interrogate the issue of the DA first and Luthuli House, and then Uzeklendauka, Chris Hani, and Enoch Mgijima. Mhlambi abantu base local municipality ababaza abantu.
Mtungwa, there's a difference between what the DA was doing. The DA was being mischievous and going to another. You can't march to another political party, to their offices. That's being mischievous. We need to condemn that. In fact, we shouldn't even be talking about that. It's a non-issue. It's populism. They were being populist. Now let's come back. You cannot. You cannot.
No, proceed. We will get to these comments.
We'll get to this. Yeah, you cannot take people's issues, issues that are genuine. Madoda has been, as the mayor, has been on the ground, and I'm reliably informed that from the 8th of December, when he was inaugurated, he's been on the ground in Enoch Mgijima. looking at issues that are there, the challenges that are there, engaging people. As I said, I want to give him benefit of doubt. Now, he has seen firsthand the issues that people of Komani are facing on a daily. If you go to Mlungisi, there are no roads. You go to Esbeleni, there are no roads. You go to more like any other places, there are potholes. You go to Madeira, there are potholes right through. You go to Kings Park, you go anywhere around Komani, there are potholes, there are issues. Now, secondly, there are issues of electricity. Yes, we have load shedding, but at the same time, in Komani, the very same municipality that he is leading, there are times where if a transformer blows, the municipality doesn't have the money to buy that transformer, and people have to buy the transformer themselves to assist the municipality if they
The
afford.
residents, yeah,
The residents themselves. And now you are having people with genuine issues, and you are saying what they were doing is the same as what the DA was doing. That's being disingenuous.
So,
You
so
are actually spitting in
there's
the
a
face of
problem.
the people.
So you are taking
The problem here, Wanatando, the problem here is that you have a mayor who is surrounded by people who lack vision, by people who don't understand public relations, by people who don't understand what it means to occupy that position in that office. And you have a mayor who is now put on the stick and being bribed in front of people to say, here is your mayor. Because whatever is happening in Ekomani, we are going to blame the mayor. We don't know the speaker and the chief whip and everybody else. The main person that we know is the mayor. Now
the buck stops with the mayor.
The buck stops with him. Now you need a mayor who is decisive, a mayor who is listening to the people, a mayor who is going to say, I want to leave a legacy. When I leave Enoch Mgijima Municipality, there must be a legacy. And the legacy, as you said, you have a municipality that is named after Enoch Mgijima. We know Inkonzo Masrayeli, we know Bulhoek massacre, we know the history of that Mgijima. We know what he stood for. People of Komani know what Enoch Mgijima stood for. And you are leading a municipality that is named after such a man who was seen and touted by people as a person of morality. And you are leading this municipality. And whilst leading this municipality, you are not taking care of the people, a bulk of being members of his own church, the one that you've named your municipality after. I mean, who does that? Who does not take care of people? And you sit, as you are saying, Christian, one of the things that he stood for was the liberation of black people, but also the economic emancipation of the black populace. You are having a district municipality named after the doyen of morality, the doyen of liberation. And you are saying, you are basically spitting at the graves of Enoch Mgijima and Chrisani by saying people that are marching for genuine concerns are like what the DA was doing. And I even said, I tagged provincial leaders of the ANC and regional leaders to say, if you do not condemn the conduct of the mayor and the conduct of the other leaders who were standing with him, that means you are part and parcel of spitting and insulting Chrisani. I asked later, who is Chrisani? What did he stand for? And do you think the current leadership of Chrisani can stand the test of time if Uchonyane were to come back? Would he be proud? Would he be proud of these very same people?
Must start and answer a comment, because this comment seems to be very important. It's very important because it seems to be expressing something very critical that you have spoken about. She says, treading on a thin line between a party as a state and a political party can only be realized when public service is professionalized. when serving citizens is put forward, so citizens must be, the service to the citizens must be the primary task, the needs of a political party. When the local sphere also is not used as a cash cow of any political party, therefore things would be better. And lastly, when cadre deployment is applied correctly. So she teases out certain themes around how we can solve the issues of local municipalities. Specifically, she's talking about you must tread carefully, and you must also be professional in how you are presenting and how you are helping or how you are servicing your people. And also the servicing of the people, the citizens, should be a primary task, not a secondary task, as what is currently happening, which Upapiane seemed to have done clearly. And she's also saying there's nothing wrong with cadre deployment, but you need to do it correctly. You can't come and bring about a clueless individual about these issues, and then you say they must be deployed in a public office. Those elements are very dangerous. Now, from your point, Blake, what do you think the citizens should do at this point in time? Because the MEC of local municipality came and said the problems of Enoch Mgijima Municipality are legacy problems since 2011, since whatever. And therefore, Upapiane is willing to solve them, which is something that the MEC came to. But the residents are saying, no, the council must be dissolved. So on your side, what do you think should be the best way forward in order to deal with these worrying and different outlooks from the citizens and also from the governing structure as well?
Okay, Tando. You see, we are so used to saying these are legacy problems. I started with that and said we need to appreciate the legacy problems or legacy issues that were inherited by Mayor Papian. What the MEC said, whilst it is true, it does not appreciate the challenges that are faced by people of Enoch Mgijima. My advice to the people of Enoch Mgijima, number one, is that they need to be united and organized. United and organized means they need to discard their party political affiliations and aspirations of people that are coming up, to try and hijack the concerns that they are raising. That's number one. They need to elect amongst themselves leaders of the movement that they have created, they have started. And these should be credible leaders of society. These should be credible people, community leaders, people that have no ambitions to ascend into power politically. Mm-hmm. These should be people that are not aiming to become ward councillors or mayors or who want to be deployed in future. Once you have such people who don't need, we need people who don't need to be reimbursed. That's number one.
But Tshayana, there's something that is a little bit problematic. In 2021, the people had an opportunity to vote, and they went and voted. 33,000 of those people voted for the ANC. Now it would be like there's a coup that is taking place from the bottom up when the people were given an opportunity. If somebody makes that critique to you, what would you then say? I just want us not to be seen as if we are moving, but some people have got that idea to say, okay, dissolve the municipality, let us elect people who are not having ambitions, political ambitions. But somebody would say, no, you had a chance. What then?
I'm not saying they must dissolve the municipality. I'm saying amongst themselves, they must elect people to lead this movement. This movement is going to engage the municipality and the government departments that are involved, and every other institution. And after engaging, present the challenges of the people of Enoch Mgijima. Thirdly, people must hold their councillors responsible and accountable. You see, we want everything to happen for us because we claim to have voted. But we do not go beyond voting by scrutinizing the IDP, by scrutinizing the financial statements of the municipality, by scrutinizing all the relevant public documents that are presented to us for our comments. People need to be active citizens. Being an active citizen means monitoring what is being done. Some of the people, for example, if the road to Mlungisi has been put on the IDP as a project that is signed as part of the IDP, and there's a council resolution on the resurfacing of the road to Mlungisi, citizens need to call their ward councillor into task and say there's a council resolution saying this must be done. And in terms of finances, we know that projects can only be actioned, or grant can only come from MIG if the project has got an accompanying. The IDP can be signed, but if the IDP is signed but there's no council resolution, then that is not a registered project. There's no grant that is going to come from MIG. So the people of Lukanje right now must sit down with the municipality and say, here is your IDP, present it to us again. What did you say you were going to do in this financial year that is ending in June? Because municipal financial years are ending in June. What did you say you are going to do?
So you are saying get involved
Get
even
involved
on the administrative aspects.
Yes.
Stop being far or uzawufuna uthetha when you allow others to be the ones that are determining what must be done. You're saying
Then
get involved, be united,
secondly,
elect credible people.
Yes. Secondly, you see the voter apathy that we saw in Enoch Mgijima of less than 40% or less than 50% of people that went to and cast their votes. It's a national phenomenon.
Correct.
But we need people of Enoch Mgijima to say enough is enough. Let us go back and vote. It doesn't matter who you are voting for, but people must go and vote. That right to vote is what determines who governs you. People must exercise that right in the coming elections. I'm not going to come here and say they must vote for who, but people must exercise the right to vote. Thirdly, people must stop giving praise to people because they are of proximity to them. You see, one of the reasons why our leaders in our local municipalities are doing as they please is because we praise them when they do wrong. We do not call them into order.
Because we are
some
benefiting.
Of them, because we are benefiting, or some of them are our friends. We must stop. When a person is in the public space, he ceases to be your friend when he's in that office. Yes, after hours, that person is going to be your friend. But during, as Africa Usmuku was saying, during the time that the person is having the head of being a public office bearer, that person must be professional. And once that person is professional, then you treat them as a professional. You treat them as someone who is being paid for the job that they are doing. And also, I want people to start pointing out at the rotten potatoes, and the rotten potatoes is going to be none other than their own friends and sisters and relatives.
Exactly.
Because
at the end of the day, somebody must say something.
Now, I was reliably informed that there are two gentlemen, Abase Enoch Mgijima, water services. Those two gentlemen, I am told that if they are called to any problem, Yamanzi, Enoch Mgijima, they make sure that they fix it. But here is an issue. When the people of Enoch Mgijima compliment these guys, send compliments for these guys, the municipality of Enoch Mgijima iyabasusa amagama abantu banconywayo ukwenzela into yobana ipraise ingayi kwaba bantu. And we are saying, exactly. So I'm saying, abantu must point out the wrongdoing. Ukuba ngaba uzonwabele okwa finance uthatha bribes, mbize ngegama into yobana uzonwabele uthatha bribes. We are going to fix this country by being honest and truthful ourselves. It starts with us.
Yeah, ndiyakuva masi-interrogate nanku uZonyane esiza apha, because we are going for a solution now so that we can finalize. Ndibuze uba, what do we do? What do we do? And what is the solution? Ndizivile zakho. Be united, continue with the process, and lead the people who are going to lead the movement, be involved, be an active citizen, and all those elements. Now, he said the immediate solution is placed on the provincial government. So he says the provincial government must fulfill the spirit of Section 139, subsection 1 of the Constitution. And then we asked, what does that mean? He then says the provincial government never really assume and deliver on failing functions as envisaged by the lawmakers. So meaning that the provincial government has also washed its hands on fixing the problem. So the upper structure is actually the one that is supposed to be doing that. And secondly, there was the issue of dissolving of the council, which is being touted by the protesters. He says, because I know that he's an expert in the local government sphere, he says that the dissolving of the council is a last resort when support is failing from the upper structures. Here is the last one. He says the citizens need to rise, as Blackie has put it. The citizens are currently rising. Komani, Enoch Mgijima Municipality residents around that area, they have already started to rise. But we've outsourced our power to the few, something that I was raising, to say, stop allowing other people to be the deciders of your fate, who do not serve your interest. Let's build ethical and servant leadership at a community level. Uthini kula mazwi athethwa nguZonyane?
Uyabona uXaba as I respect him as an expert in the field, and I respect him because he has led various provincial governments in terms of municipal monitoring and evaluation and infrastructure development and so on.
Yeah.
You see, there's a question. The question about what is Section 139, subsection 1 of the Constitution. Section 139 and subsection 1 of the Constitution gives rights to the provincial government to take over the running and the administration of the municipality where the municipality is failing to do so. Enoch Mgijima should be under section 139 and section 139 subsection 1 of the Constitution right now.
It should have been done long time ago.
It should have been done a long time ago, before the current mayor, in fact, assumed power. That municipality should have been led by an administrator.
Correct.
So the MEC of Cocta and the Premier of the Eastern Cape must invoke section 139 subsection 1 of the Constitution. That's very clear. As Zolani is putting it, the dissolution of a council is a tedious process, and it's going to take long to yield results, and it then makes the municipality non-functional, because no one is going to take decisions for service delivery. We do not want that. What we want now is to tell people to hold to do what they were elected to do. To make people to do the job that they are being paid to do. That's number one. Number two, if you can go to the last comment by Uzolan. You see, he's very honest when he's saying we have outsourced our power to the few. And this is something that me and him have been discussing for a very long time. It means we are all failing, Wenatan,
Not
because
only
we
the people who are
discuss
in
not only
leadership.
the people yes, because we discussed these things. We discuss these things with a lot of people, and we come up with solutions that we think are the best for our local municipalities. And unfortunately, because we do not have the time, we do not then lobby other people to work with us in ensuring that there is active citizenry, where
I
people are
see.
going to hold the government accountable. So I'm saying I'm now putting the challenge back to us.
Even us, we are
There's
part of it.
Yes,
We are part
we're
of the
part and parcel
problem.
of the people. For instance, I've got when I say I've got family in Komani, I mean I've got family. I've got my mother-in-law has got a house in Queenstown. My two brothers have got houses in Queenstown. I've got friends and cousins who have got houses in Queenstown. So I am also failing because I used to be a resident of Queenstown and I have aspirations of being a resident again of Queenstown. So I'm also failing. I'm putting the challenge back to us to say, how then do we work together to make sure that Komani is restored to its former glory? We can do it. It needs us. It needs the people of Komani to stand together. Yes, the opportunists will come. We need to identify the opportunists and
It's the
tell them
nature
that
of the game.
this one is not a protest for its stomach. You see, the issue here that Usmuku raised again was the issue of prioritizing a political party over the needs of the people. Because what happens is people want to take money that is destined for service delivery and give it to people that have got no capacity to deliver the service. As long as it's given, it's taken out to tender. Now, here's a typical example. I was talking to one of the guys who are watching now that uMeya uzawuthi, I want a double cab, and then the specification for the double cab are put out. Once the specification are put out, you can see that uMeya wants a Ford Ranger that
Okay.
costs about R1 million. Then the municipality puts that out to tender, and the lowest tender uh, quotes 1.5 million, or not the lowest, by the way. One of the tenderers who is connected quotes 1.5 million, and that is the person who's asked to tender for that car. We know that the car is worth 1 million, yet
Is worth 1 million.
the municipality is buying it for 1.5 million. Why? If not for the
Instead
enrichment of
of
individuals
it,
and the political party.
instead of just going to get the car at the dealership. No, I see what you're saying, and I understand it. I want us to because this is a very emotive topic, and I know how interested you are in it. But in the main, these are the threads that I wanted us to engage on. If then you, because I need you to just address lastly this aspect of the provincial structures, the upper structures to deal with the problem, because majority of the citizens in the local municipality of Mgijima are saying it's not only the it's not only the local municipality that has failed, but the entirety of the organization that leads the province in the case of the ANC. But you are then saying, no, 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 we are equally involved, we are equally failing by outsourcing our powers to other people. If you were to make your concluding remarks in the entirety of what we have been talking about, what would be your concluding remarks?
My concluding remarks would be the provincial leadership of the ANC must be seen to be strong. They must not be afraid of condemning wrongdoing. They must not sugarcoat things. They must not try and nest people. We are not in the habit of nesting people. We need leaders that are strong, that are decisive. We need leaders that are going to lead the people. Now, if I were to speak to them directly, I would advise them to make sure that the municipality is put under administration as a matter of urgency.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, I would ask them to convene a meeting with the troika of Enoch Mgijima and understand what their plan going forward is. How are they going to address the issues? What is the financial state? This should be led by the MEC. What is the state of finances of Enoch Mgijima?
The municipality, yeah.
The municipality, yes. And we are now in the municipal mid-year term.
Correct.
Is the municipality having enough capacity to disperse whatever amount was given by the municipality under the municipal infrastructure grant?
Yeah.
If not, how is the municipality planning to expedite the delivery of services over the next 6 months? Also, on the IDP, all the projects that are on the IDP, do they have council resolutions? If yes, when are they being implemented? That's what we need to monitor right now.
So,
we don't need
project management type of monitoring approach.
We need to use a project management monitoring approach. We can't now be saying we're going to have a council meeting to run this. No.
Coming up with a plan of a plan.
No. The IDP must guide us.
Is the plan.
The state of finances is a plan. The state of finances of Enoch Mgijima, in fact, the municipal infrastructure grant is ring-fenced. That money is not being utilized for anything else. So let us go back and say, what has been given to the municipality for this financial year? What has been spent? And the amount that has not been spent, why has it not been spent, and when is it going to be spent? All we need right now is people that are going to serve. It's people that are going to take service delivery to the people. We don't need further talks and meetings right now. We need to see action. No more planning. We need action.
Let's say now the leaders, the provincial structure doesn't do that. What is left to the people?
What is left to the people is the painful decision of looking at whether the political party that is governing is serving the interests of the people.
Okay.
I'm saying it's a painful decision because it's a painful decision that I've had to take as well. It's a painful decision because people of South Africa looked at the ANC as an organization that will take them forward, and the ANC is failing to do that. So the next question now is, in the upcoming elections, what are the people of the Eastern Cape saying? Are they influencing the process? I love the ANC as I'm standing here, but I've decided that I'm not going to vote for the ANC. But that is not enough. What I should be doing, if I knew that there was even a small chance of success, would be to go back to the branch and make sure that I influence change from inside. So that's another option that the people of Enoch Mgijima have, to influence from inside. If they see that they cannot influence change from inside the ANC, then they must put the ANC out of Enoch Mgijima in the upcoming elections. We can't be sugarcoating that.
Abantu base Enoch Mgijima Municipality, they must mabang bade bayofika kulo mathafa seDamascus. We
all need a Damascus moment. Mamela wena Thando ne ukuguquka kuntumbini apha wena mhlobo wam. Ukuguquka kokuqala into kokubana babuyele ku-ANC ngobuninzi babo and influence the processes inside the ANC. That's number one. If they see that is going to fail, then they must find another vehicle. Simple.
Yeah.
Nothing ngokuko ngokufunekayo.
Ndiyayibulela le ndawo ndiyifaka ngesibongo uba apho siyakhona siya kumathafa aseDamasco.
Siya kumathafa aseDamasco ngoku.
AseDamasco kuzawushiyana omama uKondla. Mntana kaTshayana, ndiyabulela kakhulu Tshonyana Fondini. Thank you very much for joining us, and I hope that the majority of people who were watching with us, and I hope that you have enjoyed this conversation, and I see that it is a very, very emotive, and you are passionate about this issue, and I thank you very much for being part and parcel of this conversation.
Ndiyabulela bhuti man, ndiyabulela kakhulu kuwe ngondinika le platform nakubantu abebemamele bese-engage. Ndiyathemba into yokuba abantu basekomani will take the matter into their own hands, and ndiyathemba into yokuba abantu basekomani bazawunayitha babe yimbumba. Thina ke baseTranskei inantsika yethu yayisithi imbumba yamanyama. Sifuna loo mbumba yamanyama ngoku abantu mabahlangane benze sure into yokubana balungise umasipala wabo. Ikomani has got the potential to become one of the leading economic hubs of the Eastern Cape. So they must change that.
Ndiyabulela uvile ke nezinye viewers zethu. Thank you very much. Thank you very much Zonwabele. Thank you very much to everybody else. You have heard some of the ideas. Disagree or agree, implement, participate in whatever way that you are thinking it would be an important thing. Umtungwa uyongayo kamalingi uyachona namhlanje uthi ningandibali Pond the Politique on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. Ensure that you are part and parcel of these conversations, but not only the conversations, but you must also be part and parcel of the solution. Get involved, be an active citizen. Siyabulela kakhulu kuZonwabele kaTshayana, uTshonyana Fondini, and everybody else who has made the comments, and we hope that you have learned something very critical, something very important on this day. Abantu basekomani, abantu base local government municipality, yase Enoch Mgijima, continue with what you are doing and ensure that you are doing the best for everybody else. The opportunists will always be there, but we appreciate the efforts and work that you are doing. Umtungu yongo imalinge, undima kankumbuzo, ihlubi madoda, imfengu, iti. Once again, thank you very much. We will see you next week on Sunday. Bye-bye.